Physicist David Bohm presupposed the existence of an ocean of energy serving as the background of the universe, a background that is transcendent. He also spoke about an intelligent energy. Carl Jung also described this as a cloud of cognition that possesses an awareness and lies beyond space and time. It is this unifying field that quantum physicists have grappled with in trying to explain how quantum waves know they are being observed. Biologist Rupert Sheldrake proposed that biological organization depends on field, called biological fields or morphogenetic fields. He explains that all cells inherit fields of organization or fields of information, and that these fields of information contain a memory from the past, so that plants and animals grow in accordance to an energetic blueprint that arises from these fields, which themselves arise from the universal field. Sheldrake relies on morphic fields of species and social groups to explain how members stay connected, even when they are miles apart, like packs of wolves that leave their cubs behind in the den, but yet stay connected even when they're traveling many miles. Even humans have reported thinking about someone for no apparent reason, and then that person calls, and they know it is them before even picking up the phone. It also explains how dogs are connected to their owners and know the moment that the owner decides to come home, or in the same way that elephants know in advance that a tsunami is coming. And I always say, if you see an elephant run by, whatever you do, follow it. Our family is also a social group. It's a morphic field having a built-in memory and patterns of habits within it. The behaviors of our parents reflected the fields of their family of origins, along with their beliefs and ways of doing things. We were already in training with our family field from the time we were in the womb, and while in the womb, we entrained with our mother's thoughts and feelings, and how she responded to her environment. All of the issues from our past and our ancestors' past come together in the present as a continuum, as a field. Systemic family constellations was pioneered by psychologist Bert Hellinger, who based his work in part on the contextual therapy of psychiatrist Ivan Bosermany-Nagy. Hellinger's work has shown how we carry unprocessed emotional conflicts from our ancestors without even being aware of it. And this can lead to unpleasant and sometimes devastating consequences within our present relationships. Our inherited belief systems can also sabotage our careers, our sense of self-worth, and our goals and aspirations. According to Hellinger, the family field operates on an unconscious level and controls how love operates within the family for good and ill, according to what is needed to restore love and harmony in the system. For example, if an ancestor was excluded from the family because they committed murder or another crime, or they committed suicide, this exclusion creates an imbalance in the family field, which then moves through future generations unconsciously. Members of future generations may become energetically entangled and act out in ways that call attention to the imbalance. I had a direct experience of this when doing a healing circle in Brazil. In family constellation, when someone is seeking guidance from their family field, they have the opportunity of asking someone in the group to represent members of their family. And in this way, those members take on the energetic behavior of those family members. And it demonstrates very clearly how the family field is operating in the present and will operate through other people to offer guidance and assistance to the person seeking help. When things are left unsaid within families, or there are family patterns of needing approval, how this carries through into our present, and how we react, and how we respond to things that are happening in our lives. It's also a good example of how there are many personality patterns within our family circle that affect how we operate in the present. This is why I believe one of the Christian church fathers, Origen, said that we contain many personalities within us. He said, "We think we are just one person, but actually we contain many hundreds of herds of cattle and sheep." And Carl Jung echoed this when he said, "Within us is a boiling cauldron of contradictions, inhibitions, and affectations. We are a soup of ancestors, and all of their problems are our problems on one level or another. We are all connected. So in order for us to bring harmony within ourselves, we have to be on the lookout for how our family field is operating in our current situation. So all of these ghosts and shadows in our closet must be illuminated so we can fully integrate their lessons. And their lessons are lessons of love. And only then can we hope to transform and unite with our true essence, which is love. If the field is the field of love, and love called everything into existence, then the essence of who we are is love, and love is calling us to reconnect with our essence. George Gurdjieff was a spiritual teacher in the early to mid-20th century, and he believed that it is possible to transcend to a higher state of consciousness, to a level of our essence, but that first we must fully integrate and transcend all these acquired patterns of personality. In other words, we have to become the essence of who we are at our deepest level. And here we see the circle that Carl Jung thought was the perfect symbol for the self, for the fully unified self, which is where all the personalities are contained. And Gurdjieff said, well, our essence, who we truly are, our authentic self, lies on the other side of our personality. Gurdjieff used this idea of many personalities within us to explain why we have so much trouble going on a diet. One of our personalities thinks it's a good idea to lose some weight and vows to eat only a half a grapefruit in the morning. But by the time we arise and start breakfast, we find ourselves eating both halves of the grapefruit, plus cereal, a toast, and everything else we can find in the kitchen. The reason, according to Gurdjieff, is that one of our personalities thought it was a great idea to go on a diet, but the other 999 personalities within us had no intention of going on a diet. The reason we have these multiple personalities is because there are parts of us that have experienced bad things, traumas, and influences that we bring in from past lives and from ancestral behaviors. And many of these influences are at odds with each other and give rise to self-criticism and self-doubt. The challenge is, how do we identify these various personalities? How can we ascertain whether our limiting behavior is one of ancestral inheritance or false beliefs that we adopted from a traumatic childhood event? We can't expect our conscious mind to solve the unconscious problems by thinking about what it is not aware of. In the next lesson, we will look at the geometry of Jung's symbol for self and explore how that geometry can be utilized to create a matrix that will allow us to ask our heart to give us guidance into these unconscious behavioral patterns.